Hello, welcome to the Daily Live. I'm on my own. To be honest, I thought Ned was coming on with me, but he's over there. I might get him on. Well, you say that, but you know, that's the way it is. If I say to come over in a minute, you'll have to come over. Good afternoon. It is the 11th of July. Overcast day for your weather update. But still very, very warm. Ashley Young is undergoing his medical at Everton today ahead of a free transfer move to the Toffees. It's a bit of an interesting one, this. I am quite sure it splits and divides a lot of people. I guess it isn't the type of signing we'd have all wished for. That doesn't mean he's not going to be a decent signing, by the way. I'm just saying it's not one we'd have been thinking about, is it, on our wish list? Ashley Young wouldn't have been on it. Doesn't mean he can't do a good job, like I've just said. Obviously, very experienced player. His age, again, not great. But needs must. And if you've got someone who's versatile and can play in a lot of different positions for us, and that means the money can be spent elsewhere, the little money that we have, then why isn't it a good signing? It's a fella that has played right back, left midfield throughout his career. I think there's only actually 11 games difference between playing right back and playing left back. I think he's played 80 odd times at right back and 70 odd times at left back in his career. Obviously, predominantly, he operated a little bit higher up the pitch. So for Everton's sake and for Sean Dyche's squad, I imagine that he comes in and can do a job in 3 or 4 different positions for the manager, and that is where Everton are up to. Everton will be looking, obviously, for younger players in other positions, but we've all bemoaned the fact that we only really had one left back, didn't we, in Mykolenko. Ruben Vinagre last season was injured for most of it, and therefore we couldn't rely on him. When he was fit, he didn't seem to be getting anywhere near Frank Lampard's side or anywhere near Sean Dyche's side when he came in. So therefore you can only take from that he just wasn't showing up in training. He wasn't performing well in training. Both managers did heavily rely on performances in training, and he wasn't turning up, pulling up any trees. In fact, it's just gone to Hull City, I think, in the Championship. So that kind of says where you are with that one. So Everton didn't really have anybody other than Ben Godfrey to challenge Mykolenko at left back. We ended up the season with Dwight McNeil doing a job in there. Mason Holgate had a go in there. So there was no real cover. I mean, there was one option available to Sean Dyche near the end, and that would have been Issy Samuel-Smith, but he was a kid, he's 16, and obviously he subsequently left the football club anyway last week. But for Everton perspective, and interestingly enough, today we're still being linked with Ruggiero from Sassuolo, who I know that they've talked about before. That was a few weeks ago. I thought the Ashley Young thing might have made that go away. It hasn't. It's been mentioned again. So, he's a 25-year-old left back. So we'll see whether or not Everton make a move in that position. But, we also had issues on the right-hand side, didn't we? Seamus Coleman was injured a few times last season. Nathan Patterson was injured a few times last season. I know James Garner played there and has obviously just had a fantastic under-21s tournament. He's been named in the team of the tournament as well. That under-21, so brilliantly performed there and did well for Everton at right back. Holgate had a go out at right back as well. Michael Keane had a go at right back at Wolves. So having a player that can do a job back, left side of midfield, can probably go and sit in front of your right back if you need them to. But also, quite clearly playing Premier League football at 38, he's kept himself fit. He's kept himself sharp. You don't play in the Premier League at that age if you're not a good professional. He's a moaner and crier, which is, I don't think Everton have enough of them. He's one of those players you hate if he's on the opposition and you like if he's on your team. For that, I don't think we have enough criers as referees in our team. And you know, watching this, you're always going to get a pat on the back from me if you're having a go to referee and whinging. So from that perspective, he'll help Everton out there as well. I think this is one. And listen, I fully buy into anybody who is frustrated by a signing like this. I fully accept this isn't where we want our football club to be. We want our football club to be going after young, exciting talent that's match-winning talent that's going to build a team together. But right now, Everton Football Club are in a mess, aren't they? We all know that. And so what the manager has to do, what Kevin Thelwell has to do, is with a tight budget, you've got to create a tight-knit squad, and one that'll stick together, and one that is capable of getting results, and one that is capable of pulling Everton clear of any kind of danger. And from there, then you can, the shoots of recovery can start. And Ashley Young may well be a part of that. Come in, good mentality. His attitude must be good in training every day. Unai Emery's a big, supporter of that. You've got to have your attitude right. Played a lot of times for Emery. So therefore, good example. Setting, he's been at Manchester United, won the league there. He's won Serie A with Inter. Very, very experienced. I've just read some comments actually from Aston Villa fans who are gutted he's left, saying we should have kept him for another season. And brilliant professional and all of this. So it's not the ones I've seen anyway. It's not like their fans are, made up. He's gone out the door. And so hopefully he can come in and be a good squad member for us. That's what we need. We need players who can do other positions, do other roles. We need players that can set good examples, and ones who can do a job, more importantly, and actually play football. And this fella can. So let's see how we get on with him, and let's give him a chance. He signs today and is unveiled today. Let's give him a chance. The window will be one of variety. Should we put it that way? You're bringing different players in, and therefore we can only judge it at the end. He's the first one in. He's going to be Sean Dyche's first signing, and you get judged on your first signing as an Everton manager. And so for Dyche, I think he'll come in. I think Young will set a good example, and hopefully others will follow, and then hopefully other signings will follow as well. Everton's still very interested in Rodrigo. I know there's been something put out today. It's been linked with Atletico Madrid, but that's his agent trying to squeeze a few more pounds out of everyone. So he's someone who Everton is still interested in. Bill Altori, Everton still holding interest in. Not quite sure. There's been accurate reporting on that over the weekend, but Everton's still interested in him. Other for Wilfred Nonso rather. There's been stuff coming out of Italy all weekend. Everton apparently today are one step away from signing Nonso. We'll see how that plays out. So there's variation there. Everton still want another midfield player, another winger, and like we said, before, a left back. Good to see the manager talking about Jared Brantwaite and James Garner, good young players. Can't wait to get them back, he said. Have a look at Jared, close quarters. So hopefully Jared can come back in. I know they're going to have a little break. Obviously they won the European Championships the other day, didn't they? I think they've been given an extended break now, but they'll be back in about 10 days. So for them, hopefully he can get in and make his mark and give the manager something to think about. We'd love Ben Godfrey to kick on now, wouldn't we? He's at the age now where he's got to start nailing something down and putting himself there. Because obviously, if you looked at a defensive partnership, if you could get Godfrey right, and you've got Tarkowski alongside him, then you've got a good mix, haven't you? Godfrey's pace. Personally, I want to see Brantwaite in there. I want to see Brantwaite take that position and make it his own. But we want Ben Godfrey pushing as well, don't we? Mason Holgate hasn't gone to Switzerland. Lots of rumours about him leaving the football club. Sheffield United very interested in taking him. If I'm Kevin Thelwell, he ain't going out the door unless it's on a permanent deal or an obligation to buy. So we know we're getting the money next summer. If we don't get it this summer, you can budget for that. if Sheffield United say, and listen, I don't know what sort of figures, but imagine it was £10 million for Holgate. People might laugh at that or might say that's too small amount. I'm just throwing a number out there. Say it was £10 million obligation to buy next summer for Sheffield United. I think that was a good bit of business by Everton. They can budget that into their financial year before June 30th next year. And we know we're getting that 10 million in, and that's a player out the door. And that means Godfrey has to step up, means Branthwaite comes back in. I don't know what will happen with Michael Keane. For me, I personally would sell Keane and Holgate this summer. I think the pair of them could do with moving on for their own sakes as well. But if he was to sell Holgate and keep Michael Keane as sort of like a sub, a backup centre-back, then that's where we are. But I want Godfrey to kick on. Otherwise, we have to look at what we're doing with him. And I definitely want Jarrad Branthwaite to come back in and kick on. And then if you were going through a squad and you looked at right back and you went, well, we've got Seamus Coleman and we've got Nathan Patterson at right back. And then Ashley Young can play there as well. You look on the left back and you go, we've got Mikalenko and we've got Ashley Young who can play at left back. And then your centre-backs are Tarkowski, Branthwaite, Godfrey, Michael Keane, and Reece Welsh, maybe. But although I think Reece will probably go out on loan. But that's 4 centre-backs there. Will Everton look to bring in another centre-back? Possibly. But then, there was stuff around. We wanted to keep Connor Cody, but Wolves wanted that money up front, whatever. So it just depends whether the manager thinks 4 centre-backs is enough in there for now, for the first half of the season. And then assess it at Christmas. But if you were looking at it that way, obviously being linked with Tom Heaton again today, Manchester United close to bringing in Andre Onana from Inter, which may release Tom Heaton then. Heaton will possibly come in at number 2. Maybe, although João Virginia did sign a 2-year deal at the weekend. And there was some reports that he'd be Everton's number 2. We'll see. But the back, Sean Dyche then might have the back sorted out, so to speak. And then we have to move further forward then, don't we? I personally think we need another central midfield player in there, but I want it to be a young central midfield player. Batista Mendy mentioned a few times, £5 million, I'd go and get him. But there are other young ones. We were linked with Wharton, is it, at Blackburn? We were linked with him at the weekend. But he's 19, although a lot of people wouldn't want him, I don't think, because he looks very much like Tom Davis. But he is a good player, very, very good player. I think, he'd be someone Everton could be looking at. It's not Wharton. What's his name? Is it Adam Wharton? Yeah, 19. Yeah, it is Adam Wharton. Second guessing myself then. But he's a player he's a lovely little footballer, left-footed, gets around the pitch well, nice in possession. I think he's 18 or 19 years of age, I think he might be. So, yeah, Everton link with him. As you move through the squad, they're the kind of players you're looking at. But again, it all comes down to money, doesn't it? Damari Gray, who got an assist to help Jamaica get into the Gold Cup semis. There's still talk about him leaving. So there's still probably going to be some churning of the squad this window. But the first one in looks very much like it's going to be Ashley Young. It passes his medical today. The plan is to fly him out to Switzerland. I don't know what his fitness levels are like, but we may well see him on Friday in the friendly against Nyon. He'll be out there tomorrow, so we'll have to wait and see. Other people obviously over there, Andre Gomez, manager's going to have a look at him, but I imagine he'll go out the door. If anyone puts a bid in, just simply for economic reasons. Everton, he's someone who could sit on the bench and give Everton an extra option. I think personally that ship has sailed. I think if someone comes in, and Lille's still very much interested in him, I know that he's been linked with Celta Vigo as well, and another couple of French clubs have looked at him. I think I'd expect him to move on this summer as well. So it's going to be, like I said, it'll be a little bit of up and down, and we have to somehow ride the waves. The season is, what is it, we're 4 weeks away, are we? 5 weeks away from the season starting. The 12th of August at home to Fulham. So there's work to do. There's work to do from everybody, but let's make a start. Let's get Young in and then move on to the next and try and get moving forward. But it's forward players we need, and we desperately need some forward players. Kevin Murphy says, afternoon, gents. Eugene says, remember to smash the like button. Thank you very much, Eugene. Good man. Good man. Make sure you subscribe as well. There's your call to action. Crimson BRS says, afternoon, the Blues, and Lewis, good day and afternoon. Yeah, again, Eugene saying non-so transfer news, yeah. Liam says, good old Everton, we definitely need a right winger, so we sign an expensive left winger. Are you going on about non-so here with that? Because we haven't signed them, have we? It's just reports. Everton are interested, but there is, I've said before, Everton will bring 6 in this window. We'll just have to see how it actually goes, won't we? How it falls. But Ian Spencer says, hi lads, genuine question, not having a go, but is this non-so any good? He's young, so that's positive. 5'7", scored 3 goals. Leeds paid under 4 million for him. As Bill says, he's 19, got loads of potential, raw pace, more exciting than Young. Well, yeah, I think he is more exciting than Young. No disrespect to Ashley Young, I just mean the signing. Even if he bombed, we'd double our money. Would we? It's around, what is it, 19 million I've seen for him. 18, 19 million. Would we double our money? Potentially we could, but he'd have to do well. But he is a threat. I know he's played off the left, but he could probably play. He is quick. He could play down the right, I imagine. Let's see what happens with that one. Gary Waters, howdy. David Green says, afternoon. How are we all? Yeah, we're okay, mate. We're okay. Liam D says, can Nonso play off the right? If not, this seems silly. Also, Rodrigo seems to have gone cold. The thing with Rodrigo is he's got a lot of options on the table. He's free, and his agent is doing what good agents will do, and that is will look around at the best offer for his client, and he'll try to squeeze pennies out of other clubs. And they want him, these want him, he wants. And Everton, unfortunately, are in a position where they're not everybody's first choice, so we have to wait. If it gets too expensive, Everton, I imagine, will walk away from it. So we'll have to see. Bill says Nonto would be exciting potential, not top tier. No top tier sources confirmed it yet, so I'll hold my fire. Villa are into some, not a done deal. If we can't get Nonto, go for Somerville. Yeah, there's options, isn't there? Everton have got options. Not so Purple says, anyone feeling a bit underwhelmed by Ashley Young signing? Here in the Midlands, here's what my Villa pals have said, word for word. I wanted him for another year at Villa, so was gutted when he left. He could definitely do a job for Everton for the season, and if you give him a rest every 4 or 5 games. Another one has said he was good, mate, under Emery second half of the season, and rightly so, kept cash out. So I think he's got 1 more year left in him, especially his experience. Another Villa fan has said, I'm absolutely gutted we didn't offer him another year. He was superb for us last year. If I'm honest, he was my player of the season. Age doesn't come into it, mate. You've got a quality player with bags of experience. And the final comment put in here says, 100% would have kept him. I was disappointed we let him go. He's old, but he's class and keeps himself fit. Worst case scenario, he's a good player, good squad player and a good egg. Not going to rock the boat. Good addition, mate. There you go. That's all from Aston Villa. Looking at the wrong camera. It's all from Villa fans. So that's all positive, isn't it? Let's see what happens. Adam Galloway says, you think if Young was the 3rd or 4th signing, people would look at it differently? Possibly. Possibly, mate. I don't know. I think, listen, I'm not going to sit here and go, everyone's wrong who isn't excited by Ashley Young. Because everyone's entitled to their own opinion. When I was told on Friday about this, I was like, no, I'm not having that. Surely not. But the more I've thought about it, the more you make your peace with it. If it means that we can spend money in other areas of the squad, then why not? We've just got to get on with it. Every now and again, managers do this with certain players. He might come in and have one season, does a job, and next summer we're in an even better position, and we can let him go and get younger players. That's where we're aiming towards. I think we just need to see what happens throughout the window. Let's not all jump in 2-footed straight from the word go. Let's be thinking about the next one and the next one and the next one, because that's what the manager needs. James says Young is on a report of 40 grand a week, where we need to be with squad players rather than the likes of Keane and Holgate, both on 75ish. Keane's on a bit more than that, mate. Good deal for both parties. Only missed 4 games, 3 from COVID in 3 years. Yeah, well done. Mick Flynn isn't happy. He's fuming. Mick, I know, and listen, like I've just said, I wouldn't have a go at people. People are entitled to their own opinion about it. And like I've said before, it's not exactly the exciting, sexy signings you want. It's not one that's going to, mean that the waiting list for season ticket holders gets even longer. It's not one that kids are going to go in the club shop and want the name on the back of the shirt. I get it. I get all of that. But squads are made up from many different players. Everton have blown, not so much the last few years, because we haven't really spent the last few years. We've been getting hammered for stuff we did 5 and 6 years ago, giving players terrible contracts, like huge money when we just to get them in the building when it didn't need it. And that's why we're suffering right now. And so what we have to do is take our medicine and start to turn it round and go, right, okay, get to the end of the window. If we've signed Ashley Young and we've signed 3 other players who are 38, 39 on freeze, and that's our window, then everyone's entitled to have a right good go at the club. But I just think right now, just let's see what happens with the transfer window. Let's get players in first and have that cover. Martin Kitney says, I really don't think we are realistically looking at players outside the Premier League. Do you think Thelwell will last beyond this window? I think he's been a complete disaster. I wouldn't say he's been a complete disaster. Put a lot of things in place with what you need. No, but I think I'm not saying this is why he should come out and tell us what he's doing. Well, the interview was done. I was reliably informed the other day. The interview was done. Everton haven't put it out for whatever reason at the moment. I don't think you can. I get frustrated with Everton. I do. I get frustrated with Everton's recruitment team. I do. I don't understand a lot of the signings. They don't make sense to me. But looking at, like, last summer, Tarkowski was a success, massive success. I would say last season for Everton, played every single minute of every Premier League game. Therefore, he's a success for me. Connor Cody, I thought done well in the main. Thought he had a good season in the main. Amadou Onana, huge potential, probably our biggest asset. James Garner looks like a really good player, doing well, just done really well for the under-21s. Who else did we bring in? Vinagre, yeah, that was a miss. Vinagre was a big miss. I know he was brought in as cover, but he should be brought in as cover who can get in the first team, and he didn't, so that was a failing of Kevin Thelwell. Dwight McNeil, awful in the first half of the season, excellent in the second half of the season. Neil Maupay was for me, didn't work. So out of all the signings last summer, if I missed, and Idrissa Gana Gueye, who was very good over the whole season. He had his moments when he was shocking, but in general, very good over the whole season. So in general, out of all the signings last summer, I think Maupay was a big miss, just didn't work, and Vinagre was an even bigger miss. I thought everybody else overall contributed. So if we're judging Kevin Thelwell on that, I don't think he's been a disaster. The January transfer window was a disaster. Now, is it Thelwell to blame? He'd have to take some of it, absolutely he would. So would, the recruitment team, so would our owner and the board, and the managers. They have to all take a little bit of blame because all of them are in it together. So let's see how we get on this summer Let's see how we get on this summer. Rich Bond says, in isolation, it's not the world's worst signing. Looking at it from a squad point of view, it shows how crap we are. He's a good squad player. He'll be a first-team regular by September. We need some real players and fast. We need a mix, don't we? It's as simple as that. Brian Farrell says, if Young was our fifth signing of the window, I don't think there'd be any fume. Yeah. She Rogers says maybe he's like the Bluebell song, Younger Heart. Well, he is, isn't he? He is. AC says Nonso on the way, fellas. Let's get it signed, sealed and delivered. Only thing left is for Contract Dave to drive in for the signing photo. Listen, we have been linked a lot with Wilfred Nonso. Until there's an official bid going in, who knows? Who knows what happens? There'll be lots of links. There'll be lots of, untruth. There'll be agents using Everton. Of course they will. Why wouldn't you? So, we'll see what happens. Music Man says, would you not have kept Townsend? He's better than the wingers we have. Depends. I guess it depends what contract he was on, doesn't it, really, on what he wanted to do. And I don't know whether or not Sean Dyche has just looked and thought we can't take the chance on him because of the squad we've got. We've got to put more players into the squad who we know we're going to get games out of. And maybe there's a little bit of uncertainty with Andros because obviously he's had a terrible injury and he was out for over a year as well. Don't forget, he wasn't back quickly from his knee ligament injury, was he? So maybe that's why Everton have made the decision that way. I don't know. Crimson says, is it time to put faith in Branthwaite, Garner, Onan and other young players? Keep them in the side if they make a mistake. It's a chance for those players to literally get themselves in the team and keep hold of it and try to build the team that way. If the manager sees them doing well, he's got no reason to take them out. You need that youth in the team, don't you? You need that energy from the players. So we'll see. Demp says, I've been a few Blackburn games this season. Adam Wharton is an unbelievable talent. Composed, doesn't panic, and very, very good player. I was saying, watch him play. He'd be fantastic in our team. Well, Everton are very interested in him, mate. So we'll see. David Ray says, is it true about Tom Cannon being sold? I don't know, mate. I can't see it. I think Everton will give him another year. There's truth that teams want him. Luton are interested in him, aren't they? Teams want to take him on loan again. I don't know whether or not. He's only 20.
What about it's like the Blackburn deal is like
we'll get the camera on you.
We'll take hang on, where am I? We'll take Wharton on we'll take him.
Yeah.
And then we'll loan you Cannon for a season.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they're interested, but so are other Championship teams. And it's like, well, you can have him if you let us have Wharton on a deal.
Well, that's it, isn't it? That's the kind of creativity you've got to do. If Everton decide Tom Cannon isn't going to be part of the first team squad this season, then yeah, let him go off to Blackburn on loan. I know Preston want him, and he's comfortable there, and he's done really well. But you're right, Ned, if Everton can get that as part of a deal to get Wharton in, why not? Now, I'm not saying, obviously, just loaning Tom Cannon, of course, but then, giving Blackburn are getting a player back in, getting obviously paid from Everton as well, and then we can assess Tom Cannon through a full season in the Championship. Sean Dyche might bring another striker in, which is what he's trying to do, and then keep Tom Cannon around as the third choice, centre forward. I don't know. I think maybe for him another season in the Championship would be really beneficial. And then he'd only be... you think he's only going to be 21 around Christmas, January time. That's a great age. If he has a full season in the Championship, then Everton should be able to make a decision on him at the end of the season then. We've just seen Ellis Sims sit on our bench and not really get much game time at all. So maybe that's the right kind of move to make, Ned, is try and get a Wharton and try and swap Cannon, as in give him a year on loan to Blackburn. But we'll see. We'll see. Sam Jones says, you hear Paul Robinson discussing on the BBC Football podcast that he has some confidence Dyche is the right man to get Dele back to his best. He works well with older players like Young. Listen, I've seen Pochettino saying he's going to speak to Dele and ask him what's wrong and try and get him back. Who knows? Could be the greatest redemption story ever. Dele coming back. It'd be a miracle, almost. It seems like the lad has obviously still got the talent. Has he got the drive? Has he got the legs? Has he got the can he apply himself? This manager won't suffer fools. If he gets a chance back in Everton's team, it's because he's earned it. If not, we need to look to come up with a solution where this contract gets cancelled or whatever, he gets paid off, or we someone comes in for him from the Saudi Arabia or somewhere. But he's out there and it's up to him. Apparently he wants one more go at it with Everton. Then it's up to him to do it, isn't it? We'll see. We will see. Joe says, hi Baz, what's your personal opinion on Nonso? Can't decide whether it's an exciting signing or another player who won't contribute goals or assists. Only 2 Premier League goals for Leeds last season. He got 4 assists and 2 goals for Leeds, didn't he, in the Prem in 24 games. They weren't all starts, of course. I'll be honest with you, Joe. I think he's got loads of potential. I think he's lively. I would hope that last season was a base for him and he'll go up, he'll improve and go from there. He could pop him. We could be like, we can make big money on this kid. He'll do well for us and we can sell him on. The reality is, I don't know. I think he has got loads of potential. He's small, but he's quick. And therefore he's got to be a live wire. He's got to be hard working. So I think he's the type you look at, but there's lots of young players who've got loads of talent who Everton could get for cheaper. What you're getting with him is he's played in the Premier League already, so that ticks a big box for Everton, doesn't it? I think he is exciting. I think he's the type of player, because he is quick, he will get you on the edge of your seat. But he was awful at Goodison. Seamus Coleman had him in his pocket at Goodison, and obviously nearly had him under his arm in a headlock as well near the end. No headlock pun intended there, by the way. So yeah, we'll see. We will see. Adrian Taylor says, wasn't Alan Ball 18 when we signed him from Blackpool? Was he 18 or was he 17? Yeah, he had. Yeah. Jakey says, we don't get Nonso, then get Somerville. If we don't get Somerville, then get Harry Kewell. And if we don't get Harry Kewell, get Phil Masinga. Remember Phil Masinga? What a player. What a player. Sambo says Ashley Young is better than Michalenko, but that's not saying much. Okay. Joe says, Baz, do you think we should try for Breuer again? Chelsea spent last season injured but thought he fit. I would. Absolutely. I think for him, he's just had the season out the side injured, obviously. So he's coming back. He ain't going to play much for Chelsea, is he? They've got Nkunku, they've got Nicholas Jackson. Rumours that Pochettino's still looking for another striker. So Breuer is going to be way down the list. He's 21, physically big, powerful. I would try and get him on loan if I was Everton, absolutely. And then if Everton were to then get the Rodrigo signing over the line, say, I'm just using him as an example, if they couldn't get Bill Altore, then if you could get Rodrigo and then you could go and get Breuer and you've got Dom, then I think you're well versed through the middle. Breuer, is, like I said, he's one who he can do a couple of roles as well. So I think he's got a lot of potential. Why not? Why not? Mark says this is a really pragmatic signing. It's not the one we want, but it's the one the squad needs for cover and balance. It's something we bemoaned last season, and now we are rectifying. Yeah, fair play. June says, any news on Beto from Udinese? Well, they do like Beto. They do, and again, they've looked at him. I don't know. They wanted 25 million. I don't know whether Everton think that's too much. I'm not sure. Tom says, well, if Brighton, who are moving in the right direction, sign James Milner, then Young can't be too bad. Exactly. I mean, listen, I'm not putting Young with James Milner. What I'm saying is Brighton do generally do things in the right manner. They do things we all look at and go, oh, I wish we could do stuff like that. Or would do more stuff like that. And if they can go and take a 30, what's Milner, 36 is he? If they're taking him from Liverpool, and I know he's fit and he gets, you know, he's done really well, but if they can go and sign a player that's outside their model almost, then why can't Everton go and bring a squad player in? Again, I have to reiterate, this isn't one I'm dancing in the streets over, but it's one I look at and I go, and time has helped. I've looked and gone, okay, all right, let's get it. What else are we doing? If it's the only one, then I will be breathing hellfire. But I sort of understand it in a way. Daniel Sinner says Tarkowski is success. Did he play well? Tarkowski, he was brilliant in the main. Daniel, everyone has their own opinion, and that's up to you. But I don't know. Tell me in the comments whether you thought James Tarkowski played well for Everton last season. People, I thought he was in the main. He was brilliant for us. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Let me just check our sub list there, just so I can make a note to see whether you naughty people are having a go. Some of you are. Don't forget to subscribe to More Than a Game channel as well, which is our general football channel, which we will be live at 2 o'clock over there. Nedle, in fact, the link is already in the comments, so get over there at 2 for some general football chat. Fitzy's Productions says, Baz, would you look at Ross Barkley? The end of the window, maybe, if he's still around and Everton haven't brought in another midfield player. You'd have to be on like average wages and maybe like a 2-year deal. And no, he's not the same Ross Barkley that left us. Could he do a job? Like I've just said, we'd have to look at what else is available and whether or not the squad. It's all about balancing that squad. Don't forget, can we balance the squad enough to help us compete better than we did? It was the manager. You've heard the manager say 100 times on press conference. Well, not 100 because he hasn't done 100 press conferences, but a lot of times on the press conferences, you've heard the manager say the squad's so unbalanced, and he's absolutely right. It is. And therefore, we have to try and correct that, don't we? And I think that's what he's trying to do. Fitzy's Production says, Idrissa Gueye got the most interceptions in the midfield. Yeah, absolutely. I don't get people who, personally, and again, it's not necessarily me saying, your opinion's wrong, but I've just watched so much of Gueye all season doing stuff, pulling people out of trouble who give the ball away or covering, getting back, getting tackles in. I know he gave the ball away a few times. He gave a couple of goals away and that was shocking. The Arsenal away and Brighton at home, wasn't it? The back pass. But in general, I thought Gueye was excellent for us. Really, I did. Should we be looking now to replace him in the next summer? Absolutely we should. Because of his age anyway and his legs. And he should then turn into a squad player and then is phased out. But we'll see. What do we have in here? John says the MSP situation has gone quiet. Well, it hasn't, mate. They've said towards the end of the summer, the legal process now, 4 weeks, do you reckon? We'll see. Alex says, what does she happening with Gomez and Ali? I see Gomez going out the door. Delhi, I think he'll give him a go. I honestly do. But we'll see. We'll see. The Blue says, unless Poch has a time machine, he's got no chance. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Tom says, let's put it this way. Dyche is the perfect manager for the situation we're in. He worked wonders at Burnley with shocking teams. Tom says, Nonto, if we get him through the door, will be a good signing. Maxter 1878 says, no chance Dyche will meet, no chance Delhi will meet Dyche's minimum requirements. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's the actual thing about it. If he gets a go, right, then that means that he has proved to the manager and the coaching team that he deserves a go, doesn't he? If he doesn't, we know, don't we? We know, and off he goes. Kevin Murphy says, all right, Baz, serious question, mate. When will you start getting worried if we haven't signed a few players? I'll be worried. I'll be honest, Kev. If Ashley Young is the only player in before the Fulham game, I'll be worried. But I believe that'll be the case? No, I don't. I absolutely. Everton will sign 6 players this window, at least. But I'll be worried, I must admit, if we are going into that Fulham game and we haven't added to this squad, I will be worried. I'll be worried. But I don't think, like I said, don't think that'll be the happen. I think it'll be slow and steady stream of players. But we'll see. We'll see. Oh, that's just gone quick. Kerrod says, hey, Baz O'Pauls. Well, a few Southampton players would be sound. Ward-Prowse for anyone who grabs him. The fella that dodged us and went there would also be a steal. Oh, Suleimane. He got his medicine, didn't he? He showed Southampton he's in the Championship. But he is a decent player. Ward-Prowse, 29 nearly. Not sure. Crimson says, Broy, a great shout. Any other young Chelsea players we could inquire about with an option to buy? Hudson-Odoi wants out, doesn't he? He's one who's had too many injuries, but he's still only young. So we'll see. Gavin says, new report saying Villa have made a bid, £18.8 million bid for Nonto. I think we might be disappointed. Yeah, fair enough. That's all. If they pay the money and he goes there, fair play to them. Brian Ball, any 1878 podcasts planned? I am working on it, mate, to see if we can get one in at least before the window. Before the season starts even. Get one in. I'll message the lads after this and see what's happening with that one. Kevin Kraft says, Tarky was one of our best players last season. Kevin Murphy says, not even lying, Tark was my man of the season. Plucky Panda says Tarky was a unit. Rob says Tarky was boss. Yeah, he was, mate. That's what I mean. I thought that I thought he was excellent, personally. David says Young is smart business, so versatile. One squad signing rather than 2 to 3 versatile ones. Tarky was amazing, says Joe 90. The amount of blocks he got in, great all-round performance. Daz says no way would Dyche one. Barkley, fair comment. Jess says Tarky was one of 2 best players last season with Pickford. Yeah, I thought he was excellent. Ian says hi from Bulgaria. The home shirt is £50 at Manchester Airport. JD, is that a good price? Is it £50? It's 65 in Everton's shop. Weird. Daniel says, I don't know how you're as positive as you are, Baz. I'm really unhappy. So many different things. Don't see 6 players coming in myself. Everton will bring in 6 players, mate, including Ashley Young. I'm telling you now. I'm positive because what is the point of me sitting here in the summer? I keep looking at the wrong camera. I apologise. Sorry. I'm positive because what is the point of me sitting here in the summer being all depressed and moaning and angry and shouting and all? What would that be good viewing for you? as a viewer, and I look at the whole thing, and I see areas, and I know a couple of things, been told a couple of things they're trying to do. So therefore, you have to look and go, right, there's got to be a bit of positivity. If Sean Dyche was the right man for Everton in January when we got him, and he kept us up. So you have to believe, with his experience and with some of the players we've got, we won't be near relegation next season. I have to believe that. Because if I sat here and believed we'd go down, then it would be depressing. And the easiest thing in the world is to sit here and swear and be moaning and about everything. That's dead easy. It takes no thought. Excuse me. But I sit here and try to look at the whole thing and go, right, can we do this? Can we do that? I said last season, and the stats have proved it, Everton, defensively and in midfield last season, were a mid-table side. All the stats prove it. Go and look at it. All prove it. They had a final third. They were a championship side at best, if not worse than that. The goal return. So if Everton can improve in that final third, Everton will be a mid-table side this season with the manager. And that's what we have to look. Well, that's how I look at it. I can't tell you how to feel as an Evertonian. Do I have days when I'm on the floor? Yeah, I do. But I also, I don't, sitting here or keep telling myself everything is awful won't make me feel any better about coming in. And when you do this, and we do it every day, right? And whether people might think we're good at it, bad at it, indifferent at it, whatever, but we do this every single day, and we're here for you, the people, as Ped would say. We're here to have a show every day and a program every day, or whatever you want to call it, videos, content, whatever you describe it as, nonsense. A lot of you probably will. We come in, and I come in and try to make it as informative as I can, or to put me points across. And normally I've got someone else here and we can have a chat about it, different perspectives. But I try to do it from a position where I'm pointed at. What is the point of that? Now, if you feel like that, fine. And I can't tell you how to feel, but that will only make you feel even worse about our football club. And this is not something that no one makes you think about Everton. You don't have to go to match. You don't have to watch Everton. You don't have to support Everton. I know it is more than a choice. But, so therefore, why make yourself feel even worse? So I just look at everything and go, right, we're looking at this, we're looking at that. Speak to a couple of people. What's happening here? Does that make me feel better? Yeah. Can I then try to make other people feel better, or put my points across? So a couple of you who are thinking everything's terrible might go, okay, I understand what he's saying there. Now, if you might still go, I still feel terrible, that's fine. No problem. I'm just here to try to, make myself feel better, and hopefully you resonate with that and enjoy it a little bit more. I don't know, you might think I'm talking absolute nonsense. And you can always switch off because it's a choice, isn't it? But that's just me. I'm just trying to look at everything, try to keep myself upbeat and go, okay, let's see what this is, let's see what that is. And then I just say it as I see it, mate. Like I say, it's dead easy. I think it's dead easy to sit here and just moan. I've got players, Ned will tell you, I've got a list of players here I want Everton to go after who are playing in other countries. And I'm not convinced Everton are always looking in those areas. And I actually think Everton, if they did go and buy players in that area, we'd see a vibrant team and we'd make money. But I have to believe Everton know the same set of players I'm looking at, of course I do. Why don't they do it? I don't know. That's just me. That's just my point of view. If you agree with it, great. If you don't, fair play. I'm just trying to tell you how I feel. So there you go. There you go. Where are we? Let me just flash a couple of Premier members' comments on here. And then I'll do the super chat. Rich says Leeds play... Oh, hang on, sorry. Where's that gone? Leeds pay 4 million for a player and we're going to pay 20. Why can't we find the 4 million pound players? This is what I'm talking about, Rich. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Danny says the negative, and admittedly it's a big negative, is his age. But personally, I think he's looked after himself. He's got a good head on him. It's not awful. Brings a wealth of experience, knows Dyson's versatile. I've no data to justify it, but I'm really hopeful we getting on. So when I've watched him play, he's been a handful. Absolutely, Danny. Coffee's freezing because of Ned. Well, it is, because I can't keep drinking it when I'm trying to do a show on my own, can I? Derek says bringing in young could be great, given we sign others as well. That's what we have to. That's what we have to look at. Harry says, hey guys, do you think there's any truth in these Nonso rumours that are all over Twitter? It's apparently the guy that first reported Tonali to Newcastle. Well, it's coming out of Italy. There's a lot of stuff come out of Italy, and they might know. But we'll see. Jay, which two teams are going? Everton aren't going down, mate. So, sorry, I know you are purely, you're in a negative mood. That's fine. That's fine. Danilov says we should look after a cooperative club in the league like Belgium or the Netherlands, where our young players can get gains. 100% agree. 100% agree, mate. Derek says, I do still hold out hope for Delhi. He was just so good at Spurs. He's never getting back to that level, ever. But if Everton could get him 70% of that, he'd still be good enough to help us. But we'll see. Ned, can you put the more than a game link on Premier, please, as well? Just in the comments there for people on there. I know. There's what, mate? Is there? Okay. Right, Kerrod on the super chat. Thank you very much. Kerrod says, met another Everton supporter in my city, the first time in 20 years in New Zealand. Couldn't believe it. Have a sound day. Ned v the Otter. Who wins? I think an Otter wins, you know.
See,
Otters
normally have mates, so...
Oh, so it wouldn't be a fair fight? Fair play to
If
you.
I brought my mates, it wouldn't make a difference because they're all hobbits, but...
Yeah, fair play. Fair play to you. Fair play to you.
Cam's got a family, so...
The Akey boys gone Otter first round.
Really? First?
I don't know. I think Ned could dodge it. Man,
I'll stick a move until it tires out. Because I've got good stamina.
Yeah.
And then roundhouse it.
Yeah. Kevin Kraft, do you understand what I'm saying about the coffee? Because you've gone in again. You've dived in there. You've dived in a little bit. Like a centre-back on a Sunday morning in Sunday League football. I'm saying, because I can't sit here drinking me coffee, can I? When I'm presenting a show on my own. But if Ned was here, I'd go, Ned, what do you think about Wilfred Nonso? And while Ned answers, I could drink me coffee when it's hot. Ergo, not a cold cup of coffee. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Kev. Right, 2 o'clock, we will be back on More Than a Game discussing everything else in the football world. Why don't you come over and join us? Got nothing else to do. Do we? Be good. Hit the like and subscribe on your way out. Thanks very much for watching. See you later. Bye.